Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another Out of Lives podcast. I am your host, Francis Jackson, and today I am joined by your favourite Scotsman, Ross Miller.
All right, Governor.
The Queen of Indies, Lucy Yearwood.
Hello.
And new to the podcast, making his podcast debut, Rick Crossley.
Pass me the whiskey, you bloody bastard.
No whiskey, I'm sorry.
Whoa!
You shouldn't be swearing.
Yeah, I feel that's the best way to introduce yourself into a podcast, is a bit of casual racism.
Well, I suppose I sort of done it, but it's okay when it's against English people.
I know a Scottish person. So.
You're allowed to swear, so don't worry. You are allowed to.
Which is a perfect segue. Well, no. As I was saying before the podcast, which is probably not the first thing you should say when you start recording a podcast. Just edit this out, Ross. But yeah, I've got a story about swearing and podcast related. Yeah, just to start a podcast, and somewhat of an apology if by any chance a certain member of another podcast is listening. Can we name names?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cool. If another member of another podcast is listening, I went to a IGN pub quiz last year, and I feel this might be the only opportunity I have to apologise for it. But I got a bit drunk, and I think it was Daniel Krupa made a joke partway through the pub quiz when one of the rounds was they were reading out comments on people's various reviews or articles, like really insulting comments, and Dan just shouted out at one point going, I can swear, by the way.
Yes, cool. You can.
Yes. So we read out this negative review, and he goes, "Oh, what a load of fucking cunts." And yeah, it was quite funny. He goes, "Yeah, what a load of fucking dirty cunts." Yeah, and it was funny. So I got drunk, and at the end of the quiz, we won, which was amazing. We got to go up on stage and shake Alex's hand and said, "Thanks, congratulations," all that stuff. And Alex shook my hand, and I just said to him, "Thanks, you dirty cunt."
Oh, God.
I don't think he fully heard it. He just went, "What?" I was just joking.
Oh.
And then I took my pride and just died out of embarrassment. So, yes, I'm very sorry to Alex Simmons for calling you a dirty cunt.
Just don't swear at him again at 300. Just remember that.
No, but I'll probably get drunk and think it was a good idea, and now is time to make that joke funny.
All right, fair enough.
So, yeah, that is my one vague encounter with swearing on a podcast.
Well, a new experience on the podcast. An interesting segue where we talked about swearing to the UK podcast team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for you. Right, so let's jump in immediately to what people have been playing. So, Rick, you were at EGX. You want to start us off? Tell us what you've been playing.
Yeah, well, what have I been playing at EGX or in general?
Both.
At EGX, I think I had a very poor showing because I'm a bit of a queue phobe. I just
not
hate
English
queuing
then.
for things. Like, I'm not very good at like
Can I say-
towers or anything like that.
Pool must be an absolute nightmare for you, or snooker, all that. It must be really, really hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm also incredibly rubbish at those, so I generally avoid anything related to a queue. And so, yeah, I just didn't really feel like I wanted to queue up for 2 or 3 hours to play 10 minutes of a game that's out in 2 or 3 weeks.
That is fair enough.
So my general EGX experience was me walking around, getting a bit of footage, a bit of filming, a couple of interviews, but not really actually playing anything and just looking at the queues going, I'd quite like to try that, but nah.
Okay,
But I did get to have a go on this. It was my first time trying an Oculus Rift, and it was a game called The Assembly.
Awesome.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Nope.
Oh, is that by... is that Endreams? Or...
Yes, by Endreams, yeah.
Yeah, my friend works for them.
Oh, that's awesome. They were really nice. Lovely people. But yeah, I got to have a really quick go on that, and it was kind of the first 5 or 10 minutes where it's kind of an on-the-rails introduction sequence. Felt very akin to kind of Half-Life and those kind of narrative games where you're kind of led through kind of a science laboratory and you just know stuff's going on. But yeah, that was really cool. And first having a go on Oculus, and that was, it really is, you put it on and it is just very immersive. And I have to say, I was a bit down on the whole Oculus thing until I actually tried it. And then maybe it is actually the next big thing. Which
You get
I'm
any
about...
motion sickness or?
Well, I did a bit on the kind of the sequence. You start off, you're being pushed on a kind of a trolley, and then it stops, and I kind of fell forward in my chair a bit, and that kind of made me feel a bit. So yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play it for like 5 or 6 hours, but for kind of a 10-minute experience like that, I think you could probably quite comfortably sit through like 45 minutes to an hour. It's perfect length for like a TV episode, I think. And I think that kind of narrative, more televisual experiences will work really well on Oculus and other VR headsets. But yeah, so that was my big takeaway from EGX. That was cool. And I played 1 or 2 other indie games that managed to crash while I was playing them. So, yeah, not a great show for me, really. But yeah.
Right, well, at least, I didn't go this year because it was in Birmingham and the trains were too expensive, so I couldn't be bothered. But anyway, Lucy, what were you been playing?
Oh, well, I went to EGX as well. And yeah, because it's in my hometown.
Oh, yeah, next to you, right.
Yeah, the place where no one else ventures. But, yeah, it
was has more canals than Venice?
Apparently, yes.
Really? That's amazing.
Yes.
Root canals, I think that is.
But unlike Venice, they're all full of dead people. But anyway, I played quite a lot in EGX. I just stuck to the Indie Mega booth, the EGX Res parts, because like Rick, I was never going to stand in the queue for 3 hours to play a game that's coming out in probably about 6 weeks. So yeah, I stuck with the indies, played a lot of games, talked to a few developers. But yeah, probably the standouts from the probably Hue from these guys who were teaming up with Curve Digital. Played a bit of Cuphead, died ever so quickly, so not much to speak about there.
Cuphead looks so good. Good. I really want to play that.
It's one of those games where there was a little bit of a queue. I think the Xbox booth, especially the Idea Xbox booth, they manage it so well. But there was a little bit of a queue to play Cuphead. All the other games you could literally just walk in and go play.
There's a lot of hype around Cuphead.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you're happy just to watch other people play because it looks so good. Like just watching videos is good enough, but seeing it up there and playing it's even better. So, but yeah, I played with this other guy because I thought if I play on my own, I'm just going to get destroyed and embarrass myself. But I embarrassed myself anyway when I played it with somebody else because I literally died straight away. It's one of those games that I'll never be able to finish, but I'm going to buy day one.
Yeah. Right, fair enough.
So, what does Cuphead play like? Because I've seen lots of videos of it and it looks amazing. And I heard it is only boss battles. It's kind of just...
Yeah.
What's it like to play?
You walk around this little world. It's sort of like, I'd say Super Mario World or something like that, or Super Mario Bros. 3, where you walk around this little world. And literally every level that you go into, it's a boss level. So I think there was about 3 boss levels that were being shown. One with a carrot, one with a bird, and one with this like one-armed bandit in part of this casino. I'm sure you've probably seen videos on the internet showing those, but it's literally you just jump into a boss level. It just starts, and it's just basically bullet hell. You have to survive. I think you only get about 3 lives or something like that. And the bosses, they take so long to grind down and actually kill them because you think that you're getting somewhere because like the boss changes its stance or it looks like it's getting tired, but then you realise you're only a third into the match, and then it's like, hold on, I've lost 2 of my lives, I've only got 1 left. And this boss still needs about 70% of his life taken away. It's crazy. You're
saying this is a fun game? Because that sounds...
It's not fun at all.
Almost tedious.
It's not fun at all. It's one of those games where you can forgive it because it looks so good. The gameplay is really good. The controls tight, responsive. So if you're going to mess it up, it's only down to you. But it's all pattern recognition, so once you've played it probably about 100 times, you might be able to do it. It's one of those games, so...
So it's the 1930s version of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Being released in 2015.
Exactly. So, Ross, what about you?
Well, I know I'm usually one of you all think I'm the cool kid and all I play and all I watch is like really, really cool. But
not at all.
No, that's not
Never.
true.
No.
All right. Okay. Well, compared to Scott, I'm cool. Anyway, I was watching Dr. Foster this week.
I've heard good things about it.
It's a great drama, BBC drama, 3-episoder about a woman who finds out that her husband is cheating on her, and she's a doctor, of course, and that's it. My wife wanted to watch it. we've seen a bit of it in Gogglebox. I've watched so many TV programmes because of Gogglebox, by the way. Just to point out, right? It's like, that looks quite good. I'll watch that. Yeah. And I watched that, and that's probably the only... I've been still watching Fear the Walking Dead and The Strain and everything else.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Gotham episode 1 as well. So,
all right. Yeah. Season 2. Yeah?
Season 2, yeah. Season 2. Yeah. Playing... I've been playing the Rainbow Six Siege beta. Lucy will tell you, if you ever log on your Xbox, I'm never constantly playing that game, am I?
Always.
This is my destiny.
This is your destiny.
Literally, I replay the same thing over and over and over again. I love it.
That's good.
People are not enjoying it online, but it's really my bag. And I think it is I'm not a general first-person Halo, COD, everything else player, and I feel as if I can play this because of the tactics in it and be really, really good. And there's something really satisfying if you get a team of people talking and they're working at a tactic and you come up with this plan and it just really pays off and you win the round or you dominate the round and you're just like, this is good. I've actually ended about 8 or 9 people to my friends list because of the beta, and it'll be a day one for me.
That sounds fantastic.
That's cool.
I don't really play kind of... Well, I play first-person shooters, but normally for kind of the campaigns, the ones that have got decent... I love Destiny, I love Halo. Oh, well, I love Destiny because I can play it with friends. But I've never been a competitive kind of player. I've never liked the Call of Duties. But I do play quite a lot when it came out, Battlefield 3. I actually really like that game. There was just something about the way it controlled it. It felt like it rewarded that slightly slower pace, kind of thinking about what you're doing. I mean, yes, you can run in and try and gun everyone down, but you're going to die pretty quick. And yeah, I really like shooters like that, where it's a bit more kind of thoughtful, and if you work as a team, you're rewarded. So yeah, I'm really interested in Rainbow Six Siege. I've not played it. I'm kind of being a bit hesitant after seeing other kind of multiplayer team-based games falling apart, like Evolve and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit hesitant. I want to see how it kind of does when it comes out and if it gets any traction. But yeah,
I tell you something. If that was a cross-play game, it would be. I know it wouldn't be very fair with a mouse and keyboard, but it feels as if it's slow enough that could actually work as cross-play for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could do.
I feel like with cross-play as well, it removes a certain competitive element because some people might think mouse and keyboard's better, some might prefer gamepad. But ultimately, for team-based games, surely the priority should just be to get as many people playing with one another and working well.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of esports, as I'm sure many of you are aware. And I think games' obsessions of kind of becoming super competitive it's a bit of a shame, because I think some of the most memorable game experiences are just the silly things you get up to in cooperative play. And, when you're just playing with your mates rather than shooting everyone. Like, it's the moments where you do work together and you pull off a plan. I think they're the really great gaming moments.
Fair enough.
So, talking about gaming moments, Francis, is this podcast about something?
Yes, this podcast is about just a very, very small character. You might have heard of him, just not sure. It just happens to be Mario's 30th anniversary this year, and actually this month. So the focus of the rest of the podcast will be on our favourite Italian plumber.
Who?
It's me, Mario.
I think he's the guy who delivers my pizza.
Yes.
Oh, Rex Pizza Guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, sorry.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Sometimes a little late, but they tend to bring a free can of Coke if they are, so that's fine.
He keeps delivering the pizzas to the wrong castle.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I see what you did there.
I know. It was pretty awful.
I do like mushroom on my pizza as well. So.
Right. So, firstly, we're going to talk about it a little bit. Mario's first appearance was actually not in a Mario game. He first appeared in Donkey Kong when Shigeru Miyamoto created Donkey Kong, and he wasn't actually known as Mario. He was called Jumpman, and his goal was Donkey Kong kidnapped a princess. I don't think she was Peach at the time, and he just had to jump up, avoid the barrels, and save her. In Donkey Kong Jr., he was the villain, surprisingly. He captured Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong Jr. was trying to save Donkey Kong. His only ever appearance as a villain.
fair, we don't know for sure that in the first Donkey Kong game that Mario wasn't the villain. For all we know, Peach and Kong could have had quite a consenting relationship. And Mario's just this guy. He's like, no,
that's very true.
I'm going to steal this woman for myself. So I'm actually, I think Donkey Kong. I think people are just looking at the wrong perspective, and it's.
Yeah, I agree. Mario's a misogynist bastard.
Exactly. What did Peach want? No point did anyone ask that. Did Peach want to be rescued? Did Peach needed to be rescued?
No, she's an independent woman.
Exactly. So,
sorted.
Yeah, Mario.
This whole podcast is a lie. Then I'm out.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye.
So we're celebrating the anniversary of a misogynistic dinosaur. So.
How could we? All right. So the first official Mario appearance was in 1985 on Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Entertainment System, the very, very first game. And Nintendo were geniuses to bundle it with the system because that helped solve the system. I have never played the original Super Mario Bros.
What?
No, I have never played it. You'll find out later why and what happened. But not.
Was that a teaser?
Not quite a few Mario games I haven't played, which is kind of awkward, seeing as I'm hosting this. Never mind.
Neither have I, so as a first appearance, this might not have been the best podcast for me to come on.
Oh no, we throw you in there.
I've never finished a Mario game. I have played a lot of Mario Party, though, so we could definitely talk about that one.
So Ross and Lucy, I assume you play Super Mario Bros. What are your thoughts on it? How is it? What do you like about it?
I had an NES. So,
so did
as a result, I had it. Many hours about it. I was very young at the time as well, remember? So,
no, you
26
weren't,
or something.
You're a dinosaur, mate.
But I've only got fond memories of that game because, like so many people, the NES was my real, birth into gaming, and it was phenomenal, and I've got really, really fond memories of it. It's funny because it's a lot fuzzy in my head about specifics about the game because it's been that long since I played it, but there is certain things, songs, action, seeing the flag with the castle at the end, and it just brings back so many memories, and they're really, really fond memories of that. So
yeah,
I managed to talk to her without saying anything. Did you notice?
Yeah, the NES was my first console. My uncle lent us his NES. I think he'd moved on to the SNES by then, maybe. But Super Mario Bros. Is literally my first gaming memories. I mean, I don't think I ever finished it when I was that young, because, hell, I was probably, 3 years old? But I remember playing it and loving it and hating it at the same time, because I just remember those levels, the underground levels with the little fireballs circling around. I just remember that I couldn't get past those. But I've been, since I knew about Mario Maker and its release a month ago, we'll go into that more, I'm sure, later on, but I've just been playing all the Mario games over again, and just playing it again, I just remember how much I loved it.
I think I've tried the original Mario at kind of various points on maybe a Game Boy release or something, and I just remember it being really difficult. Maybe I was just bad at it, but like one thing I've dabbled in lots of different Mario games over the years, because Nintendo was, like, by the sounds of it, all of you, kind of my first games console, my first foray into gaming. So obviously I did play Mario games, but they are really difficult games.
Oh yeah,
like there's this illusion, they're viewed as a bit of a kid's game, but I probably
they are
couldn't finish
aesthetically
Mario
probably because they're friendly. There's no gore, but GTA is far easier than a lot of the Mario games.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Super Mario Bros. Is hard, but it's nowhere near as hard as Super Mario Bros. 3. I don't know how people played that.
Well, we'll get on to that in a bit, won't we? Well, the next game, obviously, is, surprise, surprise, Super Mario Bros. 2, released in 1986. It was released as Super Mario Bros. In Japan. I think it had a different name in the US and the UK. I think the Lost Levels, because there are two versions of Super Mario Brothers. This is the one where there's I think the first lava-filled battle against Bowser in the castle. Did any of you play this one? Because again, this is another one I have not played.
I didn't either, to be honest. Although I think I do know a fact about this one. Isn't this in fact, I think it's all these early Mario games actually, where aren't the clouds exactly the same as the bushes, and that to save space in the cart, they just duplicated the same kind of shape. And so if you look at all the bushes in the game are identical to the clouds.
Probably. I think
probably. I don't remember that, but fair enough.
Yeah, because I bought it on Virtual Console. Sorry, Ross. I bought it on Virtual Console, and it was my first time playing it. Wasn't fond of the westernized one.
Right.
So probably have to go play the Lost Levels. Sorry, Ross, what were you saying?
No, I actually don't remember too much about that one, if that makes sense.
No, because it was known as the Lost Levels in US and Europe. Super Mario Brothers 2, which is the next one, which is confusing because it's the Lost Levels is Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, but Super Mario Bros. It's the Lost Levels in the US, while Super Mario Brothers 2 is known as Super Mario Bros. USA in Japan. I don't know why, and that one's obviously the Super Mario Brothers 2 Super Mario USA is the more famous one, which will go straight into Super Mario Bros. 2. It featured items from the preceding game, and you could pick up and throw objects to defeat them. I think it was the first one that did that, instead of just jumping on them. And it's again, this is another one I haven't played. I think I have played it, but not finished it.
I don't think we're the right people to be talking about Mario.
Yeah, I know. Going back, it was confusing as hell, because I was thinking, how come I can't jump on these enemies and kill them?
Yeah.
Instead you had to just pick them up and throw them elsewhere. But
exactly.
Let me just say, there's a reason why this isn't included in Super Mario Maker.
Well, why is that?
Because it's not the greatest of Mario games. I'm sure anyone will attest to that. So.
All right, fair enough. I don't know, so I'll take your word for it, because you played it. I haven't. And now we get to the next one, which is the first of the really big classic Mario games. Obviously, it's Super Mario Bros. 3, also released in 1988. Again, another one I haven't played, but I have downloaded it on my Wii U, and I will play it. That is a promise, because I know it's meant to be a classic, and again, extremely hard. Extremely hard.
Out of curiosity, how many of us were alive when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out?
Not me.
Just for us.
I'm 93, so
I mean that just shows you the longevity of the franchise.
Yeah,
exactly.
The fact that it reached its peak before we were born. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily say it reached its peak, but it was very easily hitting its stride. Before,
Around the same time, Ross hit his peak in his 30s.
I had Super Mario Brothers 3.
Did you? I assume you liked it.
Yeah, that's one with the raccoon, hasn't it? I said raccoon.
Yes, it's the raccoon. It's the raccoon.
I lost days to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever finished it.
Well, I mean, there are games I still haven't finished from the PS1 days, so don't worry. We're all there.
Games back then weren't designed to be finished. They were designed to kind of, I think, just play until you got bored of it.
Yeah, because they were brutally hard.
That's why. I wonder if it's a bit of a flaw with kind of modern games, that there's this expectation that you have to finish it, and everyone talks about their gamer guilt and the games they've not finished, and yet the original Mario games, they weren't really designed to be finished in a way. They were just designed to have as much fun as you want from it and then move on. And maybe that was actually a more consumer-friendly approach.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I finished Super Mario Bros. 3 when I just downloaded it recently on Virtual Console, and I had to save every 5 minutes because it's really tough, so I couldn't imagine playing it.
Just to point out, you couldn't save it back then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad the
Did it have a password system? Did it have a password system?
No.
No, it just you couldn't save. You had to go all through.
I think so. Well, it's a long time ago. I remember going away in a summer holiday. No, it was over New Year. My mum booked a cabin in Loch Lomond, and basically went away for New Year. And
right,
I was really, I was still prepubescent sort of thing, and basically I just spent the whole time in the room sitting playing Super Mario Brothers 3. Because I just couldn't be bothered speaking to anyone. It was all older people, and was like, I'm quite happy doing this.
So, socialising? Why socialise when you can game?
Yeah, totally. And I I just remember that sort of thing more. I just remember it being phenomenally difficult and very, very frustrating, and having to blow a lot when the cartridge stopped working. But,
yes. Oh, the days, the good old days, as they call them.
So you had to blow what when the cartridge stopped working?
my uncle Steve. So you take the padlock off the.
Oh, sorry, I was having a sip of tea then. That was a mistake.
Yeah. And you also then you can't get one over me on me. You know what I mean? I will take it to a new level that you've never been before.
Well, it's fine. I've already said the C word like 3 or 4 times.
I know.
First ever podcast.
All right. Well, the next game, which was the first to be released on their Game Boy handheld, was Super Mario Land. Again, another Mario game I did not play. I've heard it's meant to be very good. It's meant to be very
God, you
good.
should do your research.
It's meant to be very good. I have done my research. I've seen it. It was in black and white, ironically, because the Game Boy couldn't do colour, so I don't think it's as fondly remembered as previous games. And there's a game that comes out afterwards, which we'll talk about soon, which is very fondly remembered, and it's one I've played too, so don't you worry. But yeah, anyone play Super Mario Land?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Super Mario Land's one of the best.
Oh, really?
Great.
Lucy, you play it? Or?
I did have a Game Boy, but I didn't have that, no. So I never played it.
Right.
I had a Game Boy Pocket. That was my first game. My older brother had the old Big Beast Game Boy, the one that was kind of transparent plastic, so you could see all the inner workings. Yep. Which I think it's a shame that transparent plastic stuff's gone out of fashion. I think, when you can see how a console works, I'd love to get a transparent Xbox One, and you can see just all the hollow space.
space where they could have put in extra chips and thought, nah, we don't need to be as good as the PS4.
But yeah, like I think the first Game Boy games we got in the Pocket were the old Star Wars, kind of side-scrolling games, and so unfortunately I never did get Mario on the Game Boy.
That's a
just
shame.
Star Wars, because I was a Star Wars.
I did play it, and the reason why I'm saying it was one of the best ever is because I had the original grey brick Game Boy, and it meant that between that, Mortal Kombat and Desert Storm, that is all I played for back of car journeys. Probably going to wait that same trip. That is all I played, was sit there. Other kids played lots of other different games. I just sat and played Mario. It was great. So I think a lot of these Mario games, as everyone's going to have the defining game. I'm obviously the oldest here, so the older ones are going to be mine. You're going to go into stuff later, and I'm not going to really have tried it.
That's fair enough.
And I suppose that's a testament to Mario, is it? It doesn't matter what age you are. It's travelled the test of time.
Exactly. Each generation has 2 or 3 absolutely fantastic Mario games which people love. So it is all really good.
Each generation has their James Bond and their Doctor Who and their own Mario. There's not many characters you could say that about.
No, that's very true. That is very true. And now we move on to the to 1990, and for me, my joint favourite Mario game, and the defining one for me, Super Mario World. I love Super Mario World. I didn't actually play it on the SNES. I got the Game Boy Advance remake, which was Super Mario Advance World. But it was my introduction to Mario, and it was so good. The Cape Feather power-up, which is one of the best power-ups ever. Almost each level had a hidden stage in the sky that you could visit. There were the secret exits. You could find the secret levels, which were super hard. And I actually haven't finished the game. I'm still stuck on the Bowser fight. I cannot beat Bowser at the end. It is so annoying. So I just keep going back to playing the other levels. And it introduced Yoshi, I think. Or at least you could ride Yoshi. And you had red Yoshi, you had blue, and each one had a different power.
Do you think possibly that it's your favourite Mario game because it was the first one you played? Do you think that kind of makes you biased towards it?
Well, I suppose so, probably. But the fact it was brutally hard. I was how old was I? About 10 when I played it, and it was really hard. But I just think it was just. I have played Mario games since, and I don't think, at least for the 2Ds, they ever got the level design or the ideas quite as good. They just threw everything. They threw everything at the wall to see what stuck, and everything did. Just so good. So, and he introduced Luigi as well. You could play as Luigi.
Really?
So,
He was.
yeah.
Was it?
I don't know if it introduced him, but you could play as him.
He was in Super Mario Bros. 2.
Was he?
Yeah,
And
you'd
free.
think it, with it titled Super Mario
But
Bros.
could you play?
it
Could you
probably
play?
had
Could you
a
play? Could you play as him?
Yeah, you could.
Because
He could jump higher. That was
'Cause I know-
actually the only difference.
I think we may
Right,
have
yeah, he-
also glossed over possibly the biggest and most important Mario thing in the franchise, which is, of course, the Super Mario movie. I mean,
what? No, no, Rick.
Is it-
Let's not go there. Not a good idea.
oh no, we've not glossed over because it was 1993, and I've not at all just IMDb'd it just to check. But yeah, I think we need to make sure we have time to seriously discuss the brilliance of the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
And just to stop there, that other popular internet movie databases are available online.
Yes. But I would like to know if there are other popular movie
So, yeah.
internet
But
databases.
Did you all play Super Mario World? I assume you did.
Yeah, I played it. I don't hold it in the highest regard I do
That's fair
Super
enough.
Mario Bros. 3 or
That's
the
fair
first
enough.
one. Probably the first one because it was my first Mario game, so like you, I'm a bit biased, but I don't think it's as good as Super Mario Bros. 3.
Right. Well,
But
I didn't have a SNES.
neither did I, but I remember playing it all the
Yeah.
way through at my cousin's.
I'll be honest,
Uh,
I
it
didn't
was
actually
hard.
play it. We still haven't got to my first Mario game yet, so...
Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. It was Wario was the villain in this. I didn't play this one. I do love Wario. I just found it strange that obviously back then, it wasn't Bowser was the villain. I've heard it's okay. I don't know how it's not held in quite as high regards because it's just, I don't know why. I just think because it introduced Wario and he wasn't as popular at the time. Did any of you guys play it or?
Nope.
Is that,
No.
is that Tumbleweed I see?
The next one was in 1995. It's called Super Mario World 2, and it's Yoshi's Island. I don't think it has any relevance. No, it has no relevance to Super Mario World. They just put the name on, but it's about Yoshi carrying Baby Mario across the Yoshi's Island to find Luigi. I have played this one. I really liked it. I like playing as Yoshi. Don't like it as much as the regular ones because I do prefer playing as Mario. So, I don't know what you guys think of it.
I'm trying to think. What was the Oh no, I'm thinking of Yoshi's Story. That was on the N64, I think, and I did play that Yoshi game to death, but no, not Yoshi's Island.
Is this the one we have to kill Yoshi to progress?
I think no, because that's when Mario's a grown up.
Oh,
Yoshi has
yeah.
to look after.
That sounds a lot bleaker.
Yeah, it's like Shotgun as well. It's not what a
those were
simple death.
They were dark games, those, when Mario had the
Yeah.
drug addiction and he had to kill the dinosaurs who was in his head, and
If he takes a blue pill, he'll fly. If he takes a red one, then he'll
they
turn
took a dark
fireballs at his
turn
arms.
there. I think most people,
Yeah.
push that from their minds. Those dark Mario games.
Is this a good point to say I don't like Mario?
as a character.
Just in general, he's not a nice person.
No, he's not. He
No.
killed
I feel
the
sorry.
Invisible
He's a
Man.
crap plumber. I mean, flipping Henry. What plumbing does he actually do?
Well, he collects
Well-
all the coins like all other plumbers.
I think you see the plumbing him and Peach do after the game finishes.
Oh, why did I? As soon as I said that someone's going to make an innuendo out of this.
I'm just surprised it wasn't me.
The next game, this is the big one, at least the introduction to 3D. 1996, Super Mario 64, an absolute classic. Never played it on the Nintendo 64, but I did get it on the Wii Virtual Console, and I still think, even though the graphics haven't aged, it is brilliant. I mean, the use of 3D space, jumping into the paintings, and each painting is a level, fantastic. It was the first, and it was open world, pretty open world, and it was such a good game. Like, so much replayability, so many unlockables to get. And it is also one of my favourites. I don't quite like it as much as Super Mario World, but it's definitely up there.
Well, Mario 64 is in fact the first Mario game I played. I mean, I was quite late to the whole gaming scene. Like the Nintendo 64 was my first console we ever got. Before then, I kind of just done a bit. We played computer games and stuff like Command and Conquer. But yeah, it was the Nintendo 64 was my first step into kind of console gaming. And yeah, Mario 64. I remember at the time it was just so immersive. Like you were in this whole world that you could interact with, and yeah, I just never played anything. And it was rock solid, like really difficult. I remember going around to a friend's house and being really impressed that they got up to the last level and the amount of stars they collected. And that feeling when you managed to get a star as well, like you really felt you'd earned it, which is something I think games nowadays are totally missing. Like there's no sense of kind of achievement. And that's something I think the Mario games really just kind of... Well, Mario 64 in particular for me, I can't comment on too many of the others, but that sense of satisfaction when you get a star, there's something very kind of... I don't know, and even just being a star and the jingle and the way it just swooped across the screen, Mario's little, like, I think that was quite magical at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I fully agree. What about you, Lucy, and you, Ross? Not your game. Did you play it? Or?
I've never played it, and it's part of that era of games where I'd never want to go back to. Not because they're not brilliant games, just because going back to those 3D polygonal games, it's really hard now. So, but you know,
I don't know if I agree with that. I think I recently tried Ocarina of Time again, and that game holds up. Like, I mean, okay, a lot of the early 3D games were ropey as hell. But I think Nintendo were the first ones to just really nail it. And I think between Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, I think those are possibly two of the most groundbreaking games ever. Like the switch from 2D to 3D, I feel like with the arrival of Oculus and VR, we're almost at the cusp of, you know, another big change in the industry. But I don't think there will ever be a change as big as the step from 2D to 3D, which, you know, Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time kind of really brought to existence, I guess. Maybe I'm putting too much onus on them, but goddamn, they were good games.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, as you said yourself, it's an absolute classic. And I skipped the SNES days, so N64 was my next console after that, and picked up Mario at that point, and it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal, and as you said, the mechanic and everything worked very, very well. And I did finish that one.
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of Nintendo fans screaming down their earphones or whatever you scream at while you're listening to a podcast and rage. I mean, my opinion is very ill-informed. Don't blame me. Blame my parents for not buying me a console earlier. So,
yeah, it's parents' fault.
Yeah,
remember, always blame your parents.
Don't hate me.
Right.
It's just my naivety.
We are going to now take a short break from the going through the history of the Mario games, and we will now do a Mario-related quiz.
Cool. Do we have a jingle?
Questions.
We need a jingle for a quiz.
Well, 2 seconds. Kev, can you add in a jingle right now?
It's me, Mario. Quiz.
Okay,
and it is. That was good. Cheers for that, Kev.
That was
brilliant.
Like Beethoven level of jingles. That was fantastic.
You do realise that you could just put on some women having an orgasm, and we were just like, that was amazing.
I think that was truly groundbreaking, and I think
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Kind of screw podcast awards. We should enter that to the Oscars. I mean, that was well done, Kev. Bravo. Sorry, I probably shouldn't clap on.
No,
podcast,
but
bravo.
So what we're going to do it, the way we're going to do it is like the way Ross did it when we had the quiz podcast. You will I'll ask a question and you'll all shout your name, and the one who shouts it the quickest gets to answer. But there's going to be a little twist to it. I'm going to assign you all Mario names. So Lucy, you will be Mario because you've been replaying the Mario games. Ross, you shall be Luigi. I don't really know why. I have a feeling you're quite tall, and so that makes you Luigi. And you've got facial hair. So
and he's got the biggest penis.
Yes, exactly. There we go.
Yeah.
And Rick, due to your lack of Mario knowledge, you're going to be Wario.
Yeah.
So
I feel I relate to Wario the most in his life.
Some questions will be easy, some more difficult. There'll be a couple of trick questions. There'll be some which are slightly related to the franchise, and so on and so on. So, first question. Mario was formerly known as Jumpman. However, he had another name even before Jumpman when Shigeru Miyamoto created him. What was he known as?
Wario.
Yes, Rick?
That was my answer. Wario.
No, wrong. Sorry. Anyone else want to go?
Oh, I don't know.
The Italian Stallion.
Nope. He was called Mr. Video. That was his name.
Oh, I think I did know that. Damn, that's not much use after the answer.
Next question.
Yep.
Before a plumber, what was Mario's job?
Wario. I suspect he was probably on housing benefits and job seekers allowance because the market was quite difficult at the time. Finding work was hard. He probably had some form of college training. I mean, you need college training to be a plumber. Maybe you don't actually. I don't know. But yeah, some kind of apprenticeship type scheme. That would be my answer. Apprenticeship.
No, not quite. No, I'm sorry.
Can I guess? Sorry, Ouija.
Yeah, yes.
Carpenter.
You are correct.
Yes!
1 point to Ross.
Oh, damn
Because he gets wood.
Hey!
Right, what is the age difference between Mario and Luigi?
Oh.
Mario,
Yes, Lucy.
37 years.
No, it's not.
I think
Luigi?
they need to question their siblinghood. Oh.
Yes, Luigi.
Nothing, they're identical.
Exactly.
twins.
Well done. It was a trick
Oh, that's a trick question. I didn't know there was going to be trick questions.
They are not twins.
They are twins.
Read it in Weep Suckers. 2-0.
Well, I
2
think they
points
should get
to
DNA.
Ross. Recently, Shigeru Miyamoto held a myth and facts session before the release of Super Mario Maker, revealing things were true and things weren't true about the game. He revealed something about Super Mario Bros. 3. He confirmed a theory. Which theory was it?
Mario,
Yes, Lucy.
is it that he's Bowser Jr.'s mother?
No.
He did confirm.
Oh, I think I have heard
That's
that,
not the
actually.
question I'm looking for. This is about Super Mario Bros. 3 in particular.
Was Bowser Jr. not in Super Mario 3? Oh well.
I don't think so. Anyone? Anyone else? No?
No, I don't know that one,
I
to be
think
honest
I
with
might
you.
know. Is it something to do with a secret level or a code?
No. Well, okay, so the opening of the game plays out like a play. He confirms that it's a play and that they're all actors. That the entire game they're just acting.
I think I deserve a bonus point.
That was what
I would quite like a bonus point
that
as well
is
if
what
we're handing
the...
them out.
So, are the rest of the Mario games now them acting? You don't know. Next question. Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario for years, has not always voiced Mario. Which was the first game where he voiced Mario?
Mario. Donkey
Yes,
Kong.
Lucy. No.
No, because...
Mario.
Yes. No, you're not Mario.
What? Wario,
Luigi.
Luigi, yes. Yes, Ross.
I'm just shouting at other people's names now. Super Mario 64.
Yes, you are correct. That is indeed the right answer. 3 to Ross.
I knew that one as well. I could've
You need
got
to
a
step
point.
it up. You need to
Wait,
step it up.
3 to Ross? I thought it was only on 2.
No, I've got 3
No,
now.
he's got 3 now.
Bugger.
Oh,
How many
dear.
questions are left?
A couple more. Not many.
Is there 4 left?
About 3.
Oh no, I'm out.
Can only draw them.
So, next question. Who is Mario named after?
Mario.
Yes, Lucy.
It was the the landlord of their studio in America or something like that?
Yes, that is correct. He was called... I'll give you the point for that.
No! It's
he was-
Rick's pizza delivery guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean...
His
even
name
if
was...
Mario was created before I was born. It was still named after my pizza delivery guy.
He was named Mario Segal. He was a businessman, and they hadn't paid him rent in ages, and he just walked into a corporate meeting and demanded rent, and that's where Miyamoto got the idea to call it Mario after him.
So it wasn't so much an idea to call him Mario, so much as oh my god, we have to call him Mario.
Yeah.
I doubt you got any royalties though.
I
He
don't
missed
think
the
so.
trick,
No,
That's what.
no. What? Okay, next question. Penultimate question. What do the dragon in Skyrim, Parthunax, and Mario have in common?
Luigi.
Yes, Ross.
They're both characters in video games.
No, that was good, clever, but not quite.
I think that's a bonus
Wario.
point.
Wario.
Bonus.
I'm going
Apart
to
from
guess.
things that
Do
you
they
think.
have the same... I was going to say voice actor, but now I realise that's a bit stupid. Do they have the same birthday?
No.
Prove it.
The first one was
How do you
correct. The first one was correct. They're voiced by the same actor.
Oh, are they? Oh, can I get a
Yes.
point still?
Yes, I'll give
Yes.
you the point. I was like, how is that more stupid than they share the same birthday?
Next, so I can claim my winnings.
This is the last one. This is based slightly on the spin-off. Why is Super Mario Inside Story in fact called Super Mario Bowser's Inside Story? What's the reason?
Oh, Wario.
Yes. Yes.
Is it?
Yes,
Well, I
what?
said Wario mostly just to give myself more time to think of the answer.
You have 5 seconds.
I'm playing playing the system. Okay, I think it is because Bowser is Mario.
No. You end up. It's a very funny game because you end up playing inside Bowser's stomach.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Luigi,
Yes.
you end up playing inside of Bowser's stomach.
Point for Ross.
Thank you.
Ross
I don't
wins
think
on.
that's how quizzes work.
Ross wins. That was he won anyway. So
Yeah.
the grand score was Ross on 4 because I gave him the bonus point for saying 2 video game characters. Rick
You
on
gave him a
1.
bonus point for that.
Yes, I did.
Bullshit.
Really? And I don't get a bonus point for mine, which was factually correct.
Okay, fine. I'll give you a bonus point.
Okay, I'm happy.
Oh, can I
now.
get a bonus point just for being a bonus?
Shut
You
up,
got,
all
you
of
got a
you.
bonus point for seeing the 2 answers and the 1 question and still going.
See, at the end of the day, I win because I knew all the answers. So there you go. I win.
Well, you wrote the quiz. It'd be a bit of a shit quiz if you didn't know the answer. I think that's just asking someone a question.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the entire time, just asking the questions. Do you know this? Do you know this? No, I don't know. But yeah, Ross wins, I'm afraid. Experience is key, it seems.
What is my prize?
I'll give you a hug at 300.
I think that sounds more like a punishment.
I was going to say, Rick, do you want my prize?
Oh, okay, Lucy, do you want
I'll buy you a drink at 300. How about that?
Yeah, it's $5.50 a pint, so fine with me.
Okay, let's do it.
And that is recorded on a podcast, and that is
Yeah.
a legal contract in some states of America, I'm sure.
It probably is technically considered a contract even in England. Although whether they'd
I don't
uphold
think-
it in court,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it is.
But why am I talking about law? We're not here to talk about that. So, yes, that was fun. You proved yourself to be almost as ignorant as I am. I'm quite impressed.
Unfortunately, I think I have to be going. I probably should have timed it better, then I could have rage quit from the quiz.
Yeah.
So can I ask Kev to do some clever editing here? And I will pretend I'm really angry and just kind of storm off. And then he can cut that into the end of the quiz. Because I think it'll be kind of more justified than just, my dinner's ready and I'm kind of pecking. So can we do that? Can we do that, Kev? Yep, cool. Okay, well, bye guys, to be polite, I don't want to be rude. So, yeah, thanks for the opportunity to let me talk. Great quiz, cool, really had fun. Okay, ready for my rage quitting.
You do realise that we're just going to leave this whole section in?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No, Kev will edit it, he has to have some...
No, I'm going to tell him not to.
Well, maybe I'll just rage quit anyway, because you're not going to edit it, but yeah. Okay, so, where were we? I need to get into the zone. Okay, so, Ross just got 4 points. Can you just, can you build me in? Just say he won 4 points again, Jack.
Ross got 4 points. Lucy won and Rick won.
What? 4 points? He got bonus points. I didn't get bonus. This is absolute nonsense. I quit. I'm done.
What a terrible loser. That wasn't fun at all. He just ruined the whole mood, didn't he? So, let us go back to talking about the history of Mario. So the next game on the list is Super Mario Sunshine, which was released on the GameCube. I played this one because I had the GameCube. I loved it. It's considered a black sheep of the series. I don't know why. I think it's because of the water element where you got to just go around and getting rid of black ink, which is all around. But the platforming is great. It works really well. And I love the game. Did any of you play it? It's also Bowser Jr. is the villain, but first one where he's the villain as an antagonist. So there you go. Did any of you two play it?
No.
We're too old and doddery. I mean, our eyesight went after about the SNES area, so, no, didn't play it.
It was a good game. I think it gets unfairly criticised. It's just not... It is a really good game. I mean, even I mean, not all the time, but generally a bad Nintendo game is still pretty good. And this is not even a bad Nintendo game. It is really good. And I don't know if they're probably not going to remake it, but if you do have a GameCube and you haven't played it, I do suggest you get it, because it is very, very good.
I'm thinking about picking up a Wii U anyway, so I'm going to pick up all these games and do through it. And you talking about Francis just really entices me and makes me want to go back and play through all these. So I think you've sealed the deal for me.
Oh, well, fantastic. Nintendo, hire me as your salesman. It works.
Because my last console after the Game Boy Color, I haven't had a Nintendo console between the Game Boy Color and the Wii U, basically.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm just going back.
Wow. GameCube was great. GameCube was a very underrated console. Very good one. So next game, this is where I think they start to get too similar. This was on the DS. It was called New Super Mario Bros. And it was released in 2006. Just, again, it's good, but they keep these New Super Mario Bros. And it's like, I don't need it. Just change it up a bit. It's a bit too simple. They seem to give it a palette. I will always defend Nintendo for not rehashing, because I think there are enough changes. But with this new Mario Brothers, they definitely rehash. I'm sorry. I do really think they rehash. Have you played any of the new ones?
Was this the one with the wall jump? When did they introduce the wall jump?
Oh, that was then, wasn't it?
Because I hate the wall jump. I hate it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I cannot stand it.
Was there not a form of double jump as well? If you'd done something, you could actually double jump? Or was that the wall jump that I'm thinking of?
I think it's a wall jump. I don't remember a double jump. It's a farce, and I don't believe in it.
It breaks the game, I think, a little bit.
It does.
Yeah, so it's oh well. Let's not dwell on such a low point in Mario's history. Let's go to the next point, this is my other joint favourite Mario game along with Super Mario World. In 2007, Nintendo released Super Mario Galaxy, which is just utterly superb. It is such a good game. It just completely changed the way we play Mario games, because it threw you in space. You had gravity to take in. You could go all around planets. Platforming again was absolutely stellar. It looked gorgeous, even though it wasn't on an HD console. They managed to make it look really, really good. And it is my joint favourite. And it was one of my games of the generation. It was just that good. And if you've never played it, if you have a Wii U or you have a Wii, you've never played them, get hold of it, Super Mario Galaxy. You will not regret it. I promise you. It is so good. It was difficult as well to collect the stars. It was easier than the older ones, but it was still quite tough for a modern game. And I honestly, you can't help but playing with a smile on your face. It is just, it makes you too happy. It's such a good game. And I assume neither of you have played these two. What a shame.
I have played Galaxy just on and off over the years. I have had a shot, and it is a fantastic mechanic. It was really, really well done. And but I never actually owned it. But I have had quite a few playthroughs of it.
It is very, very good, and I would recommend it to anyone who's not played it. Just find a way to play it. I don't know, donate a kidney, a lung, whatever. It's worth it. Next one, we've got another new Super Mario Bros. Which again, this was for the Wii. It was okay. I think I got it for free from someone. Still, again, it's a bit more of the same. It was good fun. They did remove the wall jump in this, I think, but they gave you this odd penguin suit.
Slide? Was that the sliding one?
Yeah, it was the sliding one.
Yeah, I played that as well.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yep.
Next one, again,
This the last 5 minutes of pod was just going, yeah, it was alright. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It was a bit more the same, but he's now a penguin.
Not that good.
15-year-olds screaming at us saying, "What are you on about? That's the best game in the world." It's like, nah, don't.
Super Mario Galaxy 2, 2010. Excellent sequel. Some people prefer it to the original, because, I mean, I suppose technically it is technically a better game. But I just prefer the original. The original has the magic to it. And even though I do love Super Mario Galaxy 2 a lot, Super Mario Galaxy still will always be higher. But again, if you haven't played either of the Galaxy games, get 1 or 2. You don't need, Mario's are not about the story, it's about the stories you make within the game. So you don't need to play them in order at all. So just get it. It's good. But yeah. And then Super Mario 3D Land, which was the first game on the Nintendo 3DS. I think it's one of the reasons the 3DS did well in the end, because it was the first game that fully utilized 3D technology, and brilliantly as well. It's, for example, I'll give you an example. I don't know if any of you have played it, but you'd see a jump and you go, oh, I'm going to make this jump, and suddenly Mario would fall and die. And you think, oh, why is that? You realize that you had to put the 3D slider up so you could tell the actual depth and the true distance between you and the block. And that was really, really clever.
That is very clever. Well, I haven't tried that, but I want to try that now.
That was really clever. There were so many opportunities. I do generally play the 3D slider on, but there were a couple of times when the battery's getting low, I just wouldn't. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make this jump. And then I'd jump and I'd die. And I'd do it 2 or 3 times. And I went, oh, hang on. What happens if I put the 3D slider? And then, there you go. Then you saw, oh, the block is not actually right in front of me. It's slightly to the side. Things like that. And Nintendo really did it very, very well. And that changed the game again. And that was 2011, I think. Yep, it was 2011. Then we had New Super Mario Bros. 2. The game was to collect coins. People didn't like it because of that. And there was New Super Mario Bros. U. They were roughly released in the same year. That was to start with the Wii U. It was a launch game, an okay launch game, but nowhere near any of the Mario Classic games. So I don't know if any of you have played those two, but if you miss out on them, I don't think it matters, personally.
Fair enough. So just out of interest, what is everyone's favourite Mario game out of all the series?
Well, as I said, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario World, those two together.
Okay.
Those are my favourite. So,
what's it?
For nostalgia purposes, probably Super Mario Bros. The original, but after that, it's free. Free is very. It's between them two. Really, I should say free because it is a better game, but purely because Super Mario Bros. Is my first memory. That's my favourite.
I'm stuck between 64 and Super Mario Brothers Free, but I think I'd go for Super Mario Brothers Free.
Right. Well, you were both. Well, you especially, Ross. You were in the 2D era. That was your introduction to gaming.
Yeah. So they're just. I'll tell you the one thing about Mario and why we all sort of had to pick 2 there is because there's so many different mechanics, so many different styles of games. Although just with the core gameplay all being fun, it's very, very difficult to pick one. So. But I want to hear all the listeners what their favourite Mario game is as well. So, and what the reasons for it. Defend your Mario game. We don't know that much. Francis is meant to, but he's been a dick.
Hey, I know. I just haven't played them. I do know what they're about.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's more than me because I don't know what half of them are about. So.
Yeah.
But no, it's yes. Do send your hate mail to the email. I'll get Ross to
francis.jackson@outoflives.net. Send all the hate mail. Any negative, send it there.
Yes, do that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Do that. Next game. I loved this game. Ironically, when it first introduced, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh no, this is just a follow-up to Super Mario 3D Land. It was Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. Came out in 2013. It just was like, so many people at the time expecting a game on the Galaxy scale, and we didn't get it. This was a 3D game, but, with a timer in the levels, and you were doing... It was a little bit more traditional, but it was still a fantastic game. I remember there was a trailer they released about just 3 months before the game came out, and that sold me on the game. Introduced a double cherry power-up, where you could become multiple... You could have as many as 8 per character. You'd have 8 Marios all lined up. You'd have the cat suit, which was actually good fun, and you could scale up walls, and the game looked gorgeous. Finally seeing Mario in HD was a joy, and I really, really liked it. So, what about you, Lucy? Because I know you have a Wii U. Oh, you've never played it? No.
It's actually sitting there, on my shelf.
It is really good. It was a very, very good game. I don't think it's quite up there with the classics, but it's still an excellent game.
Yeah.
So I think you'd enjoy it. And yeah, if you get a Wii U, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I think, I've got a 5-year-old in the house, so it's going to... I think it's
you're using the 5-year-old as the excuse, are you?
It's a very valid point, but yes. All right.
Well, and then we're going to get on to the final game released in the Super Mario series, and that is Super Mario Maker, which came out on the 11th of September, and it's the Creation Tool video game. I have not played it. I'm considering getting it, but I'm just not into creating levels. But I know someone who is. Lucy, take it away, please.
Well, actually saying that I have no interest in creating levels either. Same with Little Big Planet. I really don't care. I have no creative part of my brain, so that's really not what I'm in for it for, but the user-created content is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I bought it day one. I pre-ordered it, got that 8-bit Mario amiibo, which actually looks pretty good. But yeah, it's one of those games where I can just sit down, watch TV, and just get it up on the gamepad and just, pump several hours into it, just playing different levels. And what's great about it is that it's all the Marios. It's Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros 3, new Super Mario Bros on the Wii U and everything like that. But what's great about it is that it's not just a nod and an ode to old Mario games. It also encompasses Nintendo as a game producer and developer on the whole. You see things like Metroid levels, Kirby levels, Zelda levels, and it's just great seeing the things that people create and the different mechanics and that people can use to their benefit and create so many interesting experiences. It's really a great game and a great tool if you're into creating levels as well, so I definitely recommend picking it up. It's fantastic.
I mean, you have actually piqued my interest with what you've said about it. I mean, I do want to get it. One reason I'll get it, it's, as I said, not really into creating levels. I would quite like to play them, but my backlog is far too big. I'm still stuck on the same games. If I get that, it's just going to lie on my shelf. It's going to become one of the antiques where you go, oh, look,
I don't think it will.
I
really don't think it will, because my backlog is, it's about 6 football pitches long by now, so it's massive. But Super Mario Maker is one of those things where it's just like bite-sized experiences. You can just pick it up, even if it's for 5-10 minutes at a time. You can just play one level. You can play your mate's level. You can play a game developer's level that you saw on Twitter or something like that, and you can just play it. Go in and play it. Try and beat it. You can take 5 minutes, 45 minutes, and just do that for a night. It's one of those games that you can literally have in bite-sized parts, and it's not going to consume all your life. It's not going to detract away from any other game that you're going to play. So it's like a pastime. It's a pastime. That's what it is, and it's great.
Yeah, well, that's good. And what about you, Ross? Again, you don't have a Wii U, but does it interest you?
Yeah, I think it would be... I sometimes buy games for sitting on my shelf in that sense. Yeah. Some people want figures, I sort of quite want games. But although I have recently sort of started to go more digital. But Mario Maker just seems like one that would be a no-brainer for me, because I've got that nostalgia trip, and that alone is enough for me to buy it.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, once I did play a few user-made levels, I just thought, a few of them, the key is finding someone who makes good levels and just following them, because you know what you're going to get with them. It's not going to be like, exactly. You've got to a certain part of a level and you need a power-up, but it's not there. You need someone who's made the level, curated it, appropriately. Otherwise, you are going to be looking for that more, solid and professional experience. Because after a few hours of Super Mario Maker, I did say, okay, I want something more contained, a bit more professional, and I went and played Super Mario World. But once you do find some people who make great levels, trust me, just follow them and keep on playing their levels.
I can imagine there's some troll levels though, just people messing
definitely.
about.
Yeah, and the thing that's in in vogue at the moment is just creating a level where you don't have to move. You just stand still, and everything is just done for you. Like everything, like these conveyor belts and everything like that. It's basically a theme park ride, so where you don't touch it, you just basically marvel at what's been done. They are good, but it's like they're sort of taking over the front page. And I think Nintendo do actually need to clamp down on, well, not clamp down, but they need to readjust their focus and find out the best way of showcasing the best levels rather than the best, showcasing levels, so to speak.
No, yeah, it does interest me. And wow, we've managed to get through the history of Mario in just over an hour. That is well done, guys. Well done, guys. We've probably glossed over on a lot, but never mind.
Well done to you, because you know much more about Mario than I do.
I do have some feedback, as in from a listener.
Yeah, I got that. Mm-hmm. You're not evaluating us, are you?
I wasn't giving you feedback. I wasn't going to go that. That was a good podcast. You know what I mean? Well done, guys. Thought that the audio levels could have been slightly more improved. No. I've got a feedback. This is from a Mark Stewart, if it's alright just to do this. So he says, "Hi guys, just finished listening to podcast 29 live on YouTube. When did that start? Will it be a regular thing?" So to answer that question, Mark, if you add Out of Life's podcast on Google Plus, it will notify you when we're recording live on a Hangout. We don't do it every episode, but if you register there, then people can listen when we are doing it live. And it says, "Seeing as I listened to that podcast and composed this email entirely from the back of a bus, I had a travel-themed question for you. What do you guys play or watch when you're travelling? Do you stick to mobile gaming or do you keep a handheld console with you? Either way, what's your go-to travel game at the moment?"
Handheld, definitely. 3DS. I mean, I like to read as well when I travel, but if I play, it's 3DS every time. I have 2 or 3 games. I'm currently playing the Phoenix Wright trilogy, and I'm playing Pokemon, Omega Sapphire, and I think Bravely Default. Those are my 3 games at the moment on the handheld.
Brilliant. Lucy?
Well, I only drive anywhere, so I think playing a video game whilst I'm driving could potentially be illegal, so I just
that is a big
anyway,
video game.
So nothing for me.
Yeah. You recently played Lara Croft Go, though, wasn't it? You thought it was great.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
According to your review on IndieMarathon.com, of course.
Well, thank you for the plug. But yeah, read my review there. But yeah, definitely go pick it up, everyone, and Hitman Go, for certain.
Yeah,
I am currently playing Football Manager, and I have been for 15 years, even on my mobile. It's a stripped-down version, but I still play it all the time. Francis, we got anything else to go over this episode? This episode 30, I may just add.
Episode 30. Well done, guys. This is big pat on the back. 30th. Wow. We've done 30 already. That's incredible.
Yep.
Again,
thank you very much, guys, for joining us on this pod. It was good fun.
Thanks for having me.
Rick Crossley, unfortunately, he's a very bad loser, so he just Skyped off. But Ross and Lucy are far better company. So thank you, Ross. Thank you, Lucy. Where can people find you?
You go, Lucy.
Okay, just indiemarathon.com, and all my stuff is also on outoflives.net, so if you can't be bothered to go to 2 places, just Out of Lives then.
For me, it's just all about Out of Lives, isn't it? It's everything that I'm doing. So, outoflives.net, Twitter @outoflivespod, email is at podcast@outoflives.net, YouTube, just search for Out of Lives, all with spaces in between. Is that everything? I think we're in Vine somewhere. Don't know.
Tinder.
Now and again, a Periscope when I'm in the bath.
You're on Tinder. You're on Tinder, Ross.
Not getting much work. My swiping finger isn't as good as what I thought it was. But no luck on Tinder under Out of Lives. Yeah, maybe I should change it for my picture from Scott though. Maybe that's a downfall. That's it. You know all the rego. You can check us out on Facebook by searching for Out of Lives as well. So that's it.
And I'm on Steam, I'm on PSN, I'm on Nintendo, I'm on all that. On PSN, I am Agent Smith 16. Everywhere else, I'm only Link97. And obviously, you see me around in the Facebook group because I talk too much. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you all soon on the next podcast.
Mario!